welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. I'm Nikki Limo.
Hello, everybody. Iceman checking in.
We're going to do a Q&A, Ask Us Anything, because they have been building up. We did a live caller one for our 100th episode that got split into two, which was really fun, but it wasn't from the emails. So we are taking questions from the emails today. If you didn't know we had an email or you didn't know where to submit it, it's podcast@nikki.limo. I realize I haven't been talking about the email address.
Very true.
It's because there's so many that I want to, I feel bad when I don't get to all of them.
But we will read them all eventually.
We will read them all.
We will.
But I don't want to do the same I tried not to do the same topic, but
that makes sense.
And a lot of people have similar questions. So hopefully, even if your topic doesn't get read or your question, then maybe there's a similar question that you can relate to the answer.
Perfect.
Okay. So also we don't read these beforehand. So I'm just gonna pick some random ones. There's a lot here, so I'm just gonna pick randomly.
Let's do it.
Okay. Right. Here's the first one. Must consult Sticky is the title. Hello, Nikki. Hello, Iceman.
Hello.
Am I old enough to even decide that I want to pursue writing? I'm 23 years old and a third-year English undergraduate. I'm wondering if I should work towards becoming an awesome English literature teacher, for which I need a Master of Teaching here in Ontario. I would be happy as a teacher. I would have summers off. I would teach what I love. But writing, it's wedged into my damn soul. I've always understood my life best by expressing it on paper. I love writing life beautifully, meaningfully, and carefully. I love stories in which there are tragic heroes. I love creating believable, nuanced characters based on whom I've come across in life. And I love making heartfelt mini-stories in verse. I love holding finished essays. I love to think through my writing, texting, and even speaking. It's all expression to me. Plays, poetry, short stories, etc. There's more to it. I love experiencing life itself for the sake of being able to express it.
Is he trying to date us?
I am, I think it's a girl.
Okay.
I am awakened by it. I need to pursue it. On to my qualm then, which sounds like calm, which is totally misleading. Am I thinking straight? Do I make my writing plan A or plan B? Any advice if I don't want to teach? Long live Thirsty Thursday. XOXO, honored to write to you, Sticky. Truly, Julie.
Julie, beautifully put. You have quite a gift of gab. You have the gift of prose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's all written.
It was very romantic.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, she's trying to get.
I think that's what she's saying. She can convey. She can express herself much better through writing. So she probably wrote this email.
That was like a dating profile.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
We were actually just talking about this on the break with our Mark. We all have a mark in our lives. You know our Mark. But we were talking about creativity and creating things.
Yes.
And how the satisfaction of creation or creating something overrides a lot of logic or plans or whatever. So it sounds like, yes, going into teaching, sounds very sound. Mm-hmm. Sounds like something up your alley. You're very well versed in literature and in English, but you find the joy through creating and writing.
Can't you do both? Teaching's pretty cool.
And that's what I was going to get to.
Yeah.
You can have your cake and eat it too.
Teaching is one of the gigs that I feel you get a lot of free time.
Yeah, well, that's what she said. She gets summers off.
Yeah, I mean,
you get weekends off.
There you go.
I think that a lot of times it's even better for students when they're like, "Ooh, I'm taking a class with the guy or the girl that wrote blah blah blah."
Yes.
Yes. So you're still writing, you're still creating, and then you can still teach.
And that's what a lot of professors do. That.
Yeah.
They come up with a book a year.
Or if you really are passionate and you don't even care about getting paid for your writing, you could go write some slam poetry. Go to a slam poetry jam.
Please don't do that.
I love slam poetry.
I'm not into slam poetry.
I don't care what you say.
It's the cadence of everybody saying.
I know.
The thing that they're saying.
Easily parodied.
As much as they can.
Easily parodied. Very aware of it. And I still love it.
But how am I knowing if I'm not even knowing where I'm going? I'm like, oh, I'm out.
I love it. I love the way it hits you. And actually, Eminem's kind of a slam poet.
Oh, get off it.
But through with a beat.
Let's answer their nice people's questions.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, I think you should do both. Boom.
I think so
Done?
too. Boom. And good luck. Also,
and she says, am I old enough to even decide when I want to pursue writing? Yeah.
How old is she?
23.
Yeah, come on.
I think you already know.
Yeah, you're doing it already.
You're just looking for confirmation.
Yeah.
And I confirm.
It's confirmed.
All right. I got to read this one because the title is My Boyfriend is Gay? It's a question.
If they're a man, though, that's pretty funny.
True.
My boyfriend's gay?
Someone called him gay. I recently found out in high school my boyfriend would meet up with a gay friend of mine in the bathroom and get a blowjob from him. There were rumors that he made a sex tape, and when I started dating him, I asked if this was true, and he denied it. But my friends told me that it was, and to tell him I saw the video. I later told him, don't lie, I saw the sex tape, and I knew it was him. He admitted to it and told me he didn't like it and would never do it again, so I believed him. Later on, it came out it happened multiple times, and I asked him again about it, and he said the same thing, that he didn't like it and it was a mistake and so forth. I was clearly bothered by it, and it took me time to not think about this. Flash forward 2 years of dating, and we are now in college, and a friend of ours both told me my boyfriend made a secret Snapchat to contact the gay man and showed me that there was a video on a site of the gay man giving a blowjob to an unknown guy, which kind of looked like his dick, and was also in a bathroom, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't get it out of my head, and I of course asked him, and he denied this, but he seemed very convincing. What do I do? Is my boyfriend gay? The gay man he got blowjobs from is very feminine, and I'm not sure if that matters. Is he cheating on me? How do I get this video out of my head? Thank you so much. Wow, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think your boyfriend might be bi.
Yeah.
He could be gay, or he could be bi. But he's definitely not.
I think she would know better than we would.
He's definitely not fully straight.
No.
Unless
he just loves getting a blowjob, it doesn't matter who gives it to him. That's some kind of straight.
That's
straighter than I've ever been.
What's it called? I don't know what it's called. I don't know all the labels.
That's when you're so straight. You're like, even if a guy sucks my dick, I'm straight. That's the absolute straightest a person can be.
You go on the straightest spectrum ever.
Wow. Impressive.
I think that you know.
Yeah, I think she knows better than we do.
I think you know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of clues. And also, not that it wouldn't matter if he was bi or completely straight, as long as he wasn't cheating on you. But it sounds like he's actually cheating on you. So, I would be concerned. I'd be very concerned.
Yeah, he's cheating on you.
I would have to say
if he's cheating on you, then that sucks.
I don't know him. I don't know his life. Maybe he's not cheating on you, but it sounds like he's cheating on you.
And maybe he's cheating on the guy who's giving blowjobs too. We don't know the full story.
Who's cheating on him with you?
You know what I'm saying?
So
we don't really know.
Okay. This one, the title is Sticky Equals Goals. I got a question. Okay. Hi, Steve and Nikki. Love your podcast and your relationship. Thanks for being real. Oh,
it's a great show.
Thank you for the compliment. First compliment of the day.
Yeah.
If you do read this, please let me stay anonymous. Quick opinion / advice on my situation. I'm 25. I've been with my first boyfriend for 2 years and 3 months now. We became official only after 11 days we met in person, 14 days after we started talking, met on an app. He's a great partner, but sometimes I doubt us, and he gets mad when I tell him that, which I think is normal. Nobody wants their partner to doubt the relationship. It might be my confidence, but if he's the one for me, shouldn't it be automatic that I don't doubt us?
No.
Also, our love languages don't mesh. Mine is physical touch and gift giving. His is quality time and acts of service. I try harder to love him using his love language than he does mine. But the point is, just because he loves me using his language doesn't mean he doesn't love me. And my comeback is he's right, but it will mean I don't value it as much since it's not my love language. I guess my question is, we don't really have big problems. Should I continue to focus on the good and not doubt our relationship? Sometimes I wonder if there is someone out there that can love me better, like how you guys knew from your hearts you guys are meant for each other. Am I being ungrateful? Love and thank you both so much. Anonymous. I think love languages are so important.
Very important. But I think that you might be overthinking it as well.
No, but she's saying...
Haven't they been together for like 14 days?
2 years and 3 months.
2 years and 3 months. Wow.
No,
I don't know how
they started dating only after 11 days.
Got it. Okay. I stuck on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
14 days after they started talking. So they started dating 3 days later. They met in person, and then 11 days later, they started dating.
So then he's had time to understand her love languages.
Right.
Not quite meet.
And it sounds like she's trying to make it work by doing his love language, but he's not really doing it back because he's like, I don't see the point. I'm still loving you in my language.
I'm loving you. I said I love you.
Yeah. It just, you'll never feel, because that's not your love language, you'll just never feel it the same.
Yeah,
I think the value comes in feeling loved.
Yes.
Yeah. So even though you can logically know that he's showing you love and that logically he loves you, you won't feel it.
Unless you do feel it.
She says she doesn't because...
I'm trying to be on the bright side.
I don't know. I know it's hard because like I've definitely done a breakup where there was nothing wrong. We had no big problems. And I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But the love wasn't there. Like the passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I broke up with a chick who just wasn't very. I need a little bit of give back.
Yeah, reciprocation.
Yeah, I need a little bit of
physical touch.
Prickliness, if you will. Like I need somebody who can give it like I give it.
Oh, you need to be roasted a little bit.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And this chick just didn't have it in her gut.
Right, she's too nice.
She's too nice, and I just couldn't. I wasn't as interested in her because she's so nice.
Our love language is roasting.
Oh yeah.
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 We love, like, if one of us gets a good roast in, it like turns the other one on.
It's awesome.
Like, I love when he gets a good roast in.
Yeah.
I'm like, true.
Yeah, we love it. But that's part of love language, kind of, right? Like I need that kind of
stimulation.
A person. Yeah.
There's a specific stimulation.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. This one's a little tough.
It's not tough for me.
We're gonna circle back.
I'm gonna say break up.
Wow.
I'm sorry, because I don't want you to waste more time. That's the thing. That's the whole thing, is that, like, I just don't think it'll end up working out in the end if you're not receiving the love language that makes you feel loved.
Damn, the ice ma'am has spoken.
The ice woman.
The ice ma'am.
Ma'am. Oh, I see. You call me ma'am?
Yeah, you're the ice ma'am.
I don't like it.
You don't think that's a good?
Sounds old. Sounds like I'm the elderly ice woman.
A nickname has been born.
Excuse me, ice ma'am?
You're the ice ma'am.
Where's the ice? And I'm like, I worked at this coffee shop, so I get your own damn ice. And I don't like it.
I like the ice ma'am.
Ice ma'am?
Yeah.
She just bitches about being requested ice from.
Yeah. Well, you're the breakup chick, man. You're like, break up, get over it. Nikki's sitting here smoking cigarettes. Break up, move on. Next caller, you're on the air. Break up.
Then why don't you call me the ice breaker? Way cooler.
No, it's not that cool.
All right.
I think Ice Ma'am really caught on. And I think
you're young enough that you don't have kids, you don't have marriage, it's not deep yet. Just break up.
Damn, you hear that? That's the sound of a ice cold fucking burn.
It's the icebreaker coming here to break
it's the Ice Man. Move on.
I'm gonna break your balls. I'm gonna break your walls. I'm good.
See, you wish you could have a cool nickname like me. You're so jealous.
Everyone calls me the icebreaker.
Go ahead.
That's what they call me.
No, they don't.
That's what they call me.
You'll see.
All right. The next one is called "Hi, Nikki and Steve. I love you guys" in all caps.
Aww.
Just a tip to get your question picked.
Aw.
P.S. This is a podcast question. Well, thank you for sending it to the podcast email. Hi, guys. I would like to remain anonymous, but I would just like to say really quick that I love your guys' content, podcasts, vlogs, Tasty Tuesdays, and I look up to you guys for having such a healthy relationship. Hee hee.
Bless you, child.
Aw. So my boyfriend lately has had a super low sex drive, and it kind of makes me feel unwanted and not sexy because I have a high sex drive, and whenever I try to make advances, they're not reciprocated. Recently, we had a conversation about it, and he said that he felt like I sexually assaulted him because in the past, he wouldn't want me to feel upset, so he'd say yes to sex even if he didn't want to. So that's turned him off of sex most of the time. As a survivor of sexual assault, this crushed me. He told me that he forgave me, but I don't know if I can forgive myself, and my question is, how do we move on from this and begin to have positive associations with sex again? Well.
This is a toughie.
Wait. Because my answer varies based on this answer, which is, was the boyfriend sexually assaulted in the past? Like he has a trauma associated with it? Or is he just throwing that out there? Like, it feels like you sexually assaulted me because I didn't want it and you did it anyway, you know?
Right.
Is it? I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I don't know either.
And I also don't know.
It sounds like because she has it, she's had some trauma.
Yeah.
I don't, and she didn't mention he did. So maybe she's just talking about.
She doesn't know the extent to which she might have impacted him.
Exactly.
She doesn't want to be the traumatizer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that would be devastating.
Right. And I think just feeling that way is great. Like empathizing with your partner. I think that's a great step towards communication.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess it would have to be based on how much that really affected him.
I would also always, with men, I can tell you right now that anytime I've had lower sex drive, it's usually because of self-esteem.
Yeah.
For me.
Your own stuff.
So, and all I'm doing is talking to you as me here, and maybe there's something deeper going on with him, like personally, like as far as the way that he sees himself.
Right.
That maybe is interfering with his sex
drive.
That
happened to us early on. I don't know if you remember, but like in like the first, second year. Because my ex-boyfriend, I felt like never wanted to have sex with me, and it would get frustrating, and then I felt like I was pressuring him all the time. I couldn't find that balance of like, because I wanted it, but he didn't want it. And so when it felt like it started happening in our relationship, and I brought it up and was communicating about it, and Steve said, oh, well, I come home and you're in sweatpants, it doesn't really turn me on.
Yeah.
And like he was kind of just pulling for something that wasn't addressing his own issues.
I like her in sweatpants.
So I would try to like dress up for him, and it still wasn't happening. And then I took on a lot of that fault and blame, and like felt like it was me, and it was just me that he didn't want to have sex with. And really it was just an internal issue that he later apologized for after figuring it out, but it took him a little bit.
And it's not like I had the answer in my head and I wasn't sharing it with you. I was just not in the mood and trying to come up with a reason why. Maybe that was why. You know what I'm saying? But thankfully that did not last for a year. That was like a little phase. Yeah. So because we talked about it, and it did make me question why I was doing this, and it helped me find the answer, which is extremely helpful, and maybe that's what this guy needs. Yeah. Especially if you're not taught to address your own personal, like you're taught to, like a lot of guys that I've dated are just taught to like bury it, move on, be productive. Yeah. And maybe he does feel like he was sexually,
assaulted
in this case. But I don't know, man. That's only for him to know. And so I would really love to hear from him about it in some way, because there's a lot of information I'm missing. Right. Yeah. And then she says, my boyfriend lately. So it's just been lately. Not their whole relationship, but just lately. Got it. Yeah. Which also, like, when my boyfriend was cheating on me, my ex-boyfriend, that also didn't want to have sex with me, when he was cheating on me, he would give me every excuse in the book. Yeah, I do. And so I don't know what this case is. We need a lot more information. And for me, I've talked about this before. I don't know what to call it. Fucking diddled. I don't know. Sexually assaulted. Sure. Yeah. Yes. You were. Okay. I hate to say it because I know so many people have it so much worse, right? Right. Well, that's why a lot of victims don't say anything about their stories, because a lot of, you're like, people have it so much worse. Like, mine's stupid. I shouldn't talk about it or acknowledge it. Yeah. But I can tell you that after that happened, definitely for a couple of days, I didn't want to have sex or anything. I was fucking weirded out. You felt violated. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe that's what's going on here too. I don't know. But also that was done to me by like a friend. Yeah. Or someone I thought was a friend. It wasn't your girlfriend. It wasn't my girlfriend. So that's a whole different conversation. And it was a guy. Right. Yeah. So that's hard, right? Yeah. I don't know. This one's a hard one to diagnose. I'm not trying to belittle him. Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Because there are people in relationships that do get sexually assaulted by their partners. Totally. Which, we would never want to diminish that. But yeah, we just don't have enough information. Yeah. I think just lots of conversations. Just honest talk about it. Lots of communication. As much of that as you can get. Yeah. And without, I know. And developing trust. Yeah. That if he says no means no, like that kind of thing. With a lot of understanding. Yeah. Yeah. And I wish you luck. And good luck. Yeah, seriously. This one's called Bestie Advice. I chose it because this doesn't sound like a relationship question. Yeah. Hey, Nikki and Steve. I want to start off by saying I love the podcast, and I want to thank you guys for all the good vibes you bring into my life. Aw, thank you. Good person. Vibes. I wanted to ask you for some advice. I recently became besties with this guy I've known for a year and a half. Let's call him Trepin. Okay. Which I was super excited about. However, 2 days after becoming besties, he betrayed me. He told me he was going to play pickup soccer that afternoon and then never showed up. I had to find out from a mutual friend that he wasn't coming. It really hurt me because I was so excited to play a sport we both love. I told him this was strike one, and he didn't even apologize until I pointed out that he hadn't apologized. Anyways, I tried to move on, but then about a week later, he got pretty drunk with his friends at a club and sent me a voice memo of his friend saying my name followed by, "She's irrelevant," which my bestie just laughs hysterically at. I confronted him and asked why he didn't defend me, and he couldn't come up with a reason other than it was boys' night. And then I then told him it was strike two. He's done some other sketchy stuff that could warrant a third strike, but he just makes up an excuse and turns it around on me. So my question is, should I put up with all he's done to me, or should I end this bestie friendship? Also, what's your take on the strike system? And if you're all for it, then can you explain the rules to the strike system? I appreciate any advice you two have. Cheers, Mom Spaghetti Monster. Like the American justice system, I 100% support baseball references as far as being the law of the land. Right. 3 strikes and you're out. I don't. Okay, this person, you've known this guy for a year and a half, but 2 days after becoming besties is when he betrayed you. That doesn't sound like a best friend to me. Or do you guys make a pact and say like, okay, we've known each other a year and a half,
we're officially besties.
We are now besties.
2 days later, he's like, yo, fuck my bestie.
Right.
It doesn't really make sense to me.
Also, the fuck my bestie thing wasn't even that good.
What?
Not showing up to
a pickup soccer?
Yeah.
Well, she got stood up.
But was it like pickup soccer so everyone there is strangers?
I don't know,
or
but
was
it
like
says she found out from a mutual friend that he wasn't coming. So it's not like he said, hey, I can't make it.
That's
she
harder.
found out through a mutual friend. I just don't think this guy is your bestie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you might be projecting a lot of the friendship onto him.
Yes.
Is what it sounds like.
It sounds like you're really wanting the bestie thing to happen.
And it's not there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think this sounds like a one-way friendship where you are putting way more in than you would be getting out of it. And I don't think this is your best friend.
I also think, too, there's a lot of pressure that goes into playing soccer because it's such a bad sport. And so I think that this guy's probably feeling like pressured to play a sport that really nobody really wants to play very much.
But you should still communicate that you are not going to show up and play the sport.
That's true. That's very true. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and then he doesn't have your back to this friend. Obviously, the friend is saying something that hurt you, and then your bestie just laughs at it instead of like having your back. That's not a bestie. He's not really. There's not a lot of evidence for bestie.
What's the evidence for bestie?
Exactly.
Can you provide that, please?
Right. What are the pros and cons when you're making a list? It's like, well, he does all this other shit for me. Like, I'm in a wheelchair and he pushes me around all day, and like he is the best.
Right.
He's my bestie, and we have all these deep conversations every single night. Because right now, I don't see any of that backstory of
I'm not seeing
why for.
Like he brings me Chipotle every Wednesday, but I'm a Qdoba person.
See, I think if there was enough of that built up, then the strike system would work. It would be like, well, they did all this, so I'll just give them a strike.
Exactly.
But if there's none of that built up, then I'm just like, this is pointless. It's done.
I hear plenty of strikes already.
Too many strikes.
And like the American justice system, I think this guy's out and should be lethally injected.
Yeah, like your third strike could be stealing a donut and you go to jail for life. So like, I don't think you should measure like, okay, well the donut. No, the justice system does not care.
Death row, pal.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you did it to yourself.
I don't think you get death row for
you absolutely get death row.
You just get prison for life.
If it has sprinkles.
Okay, the next one is titled Non-Relationship Question. Okay. Hi, Nikki and Steve. I love your podcast. Your podcast is my favorite, and you guys are truly the relationship goals. Oh, thank you.
Thanks, girl.
Also, they spelled favorite. They spelled favorite with the OU, so I feel like you're British.
Oh,
which
wow.
We love because all of our friends on Love Island are British.
Our best friends, like Luke M.
We watch
like
them
Luke
every
T.
day.
Like we like Callum. We like Shauna.
You like Callum?
Well, I used to.
What is wrong with you?
Love Island UK, shout out.
Shout out. All right, I wish to stay anonymous. My mom got a parking ticket. She wants to avoid paying it by appealing and using my disability badge to say that she was entitled to stay longer. She went shopping with a friend and thinks she could possibly get away by saying that her friend was me. I didn't agree to help my mom with this because the badge says that it's a criminal offense if it's used incorrectly.
Your mom is so cheap. I love it.
And this, he in parentheses, UK. Yeah, I called it. I offered my mom that I pay for the fine instead, but she said she doesn't need the money. She said that she understood me, but she did appear a bit...
Principal.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to pay the ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
So good.
Should I have done this differently? I'm only in my 20s, never committed a crime, but I love my mom and I wish I could have helped her. I did send her money by bank secretly as she never accepted it, but still, I don't know whether I should have done things differently. Many thanks.
You are so freaking sweet. Can you be our friend? We want you as a friend.
Yes.
Because you're a very good person.
I think your mom sounds like one of those people that like the thrill of getting away with something.
Yeah, she's like my mom.
The pain. Yeah. So my dad is like that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay, according to this law and this rule.
Yeah, we can do this.
Yeah.
That's so good, man.
It's like a fun thing. I don't know, but I don't know your mom. Maybe it's not fun for her.
Maybe it's not as fun. Maybe she's like, let me use your
I guess that's the part that I could relate with. The only justification that I could relate with is like if you got some sort of thrill from getting away with something sneakily and through a like loophole in the law.
And it's such a, I don't know. I mean, it's such a white lie.
Yeah.
It's cute.
It's cute.
Yeah.
And that you're taking it very seriously, and I think that's so sweet.
You're a very noble person.
You're a very noble person for sure.
And we wish that there were more of you.
Yeah.
And less of the people who, like I'm thinking more of the Callums.
Yeah. The Callums of the world.
The Callums of the world.
And if you haven't watched Love Island and you don't get our references,
then get on our level.
You're
and
wrong.
stop having excuses and make time for the show. Make time for the show. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me. Look at him.
Make time for the show.
Thank you.
You know you have the time. Thank
Yes. I think that I don't think there's something you should have done differently. I think you're sticking up for you're sticking to your guns.
That's right.
And
you're
I like
a principled
that.
person.
Yeah.
You got your qualms. You got your scruples. Stick with them.
There's nothing wrong with that. And your mom's got her guns, and she's like, I want to get away with the system.
You ever heard the term, a man's got to learn his limitations?
No.
I think it's a beautiful term.
Do women have to learn them?
Of course. It's a man. Man.
It says man. You said man.
Woman.
I don't know.
Same.
I don't identify with being a man.
You got to learn your limitations sometimes in life. Having boundaries is sick. Having rules for yourself is very cool. And and I feel like having a moral center is very dope.
Absolutely.
So good on you.
And we're all different.
You know your line, and you won't cross it.
Yes. All right. The next one is relationship advice for Anonymous. Hi, Nikki and Steve. I'm currently binge watching your podcast. I'm obsessed. Heart emoji. Thank you. So I am 21 years old and I have never been in a relationship. I know I'm young and I should not be worrying about it, but I still low-key do. I feel like when a guy shows some kind of interest, it goes over my head and I need advice on this matter. Okay, so a group of friends and I decided to go to a gift exchange. Ironically, me and this guy got each other for the gift exchange. He bought me an expensive gift for Christmas. I'm not saying it's expensive to brag. I'm just giving you an idea of the reactions of the people.
Sounds like you're bragging.
I'm not one that likes receiving gifts, but the gift was extremely nice of him. With this being said, when my stepdad and guy friends seen the gift, they told me that no guy would buy an expensive gift like that for just a friend. Also spoke to a friend that is a girl who knows him, and she said that he's just a sweet guy. Honestly, I just need advice about relationships in general. I only brought this up as an example because I wanted to know if this was something I was blind to or if I'm just overthinking it. Thank you for taking the time to help me out. I love you both. This is a great question.
Yeah, it's a really good question.
It's hard to tell the subtleties of that. It's
hard to tell if she likes him. Does she like him?
Right.
Or is she trying to read if she's good at reading if people like her?
This guy got each other for the gift exchange. He bought me. It doesn't sound like she
particularly
had a crush on him or anything. I think it's more just like I can't tell when I'm getting hit on.
Yeah.
You
so
know?
It's that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
it's hard. I
tough.
was like this forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm very oblivious to when guys were hitting on me or interested. Even guys that I did have a crush on, I didn't. And then later they said they liked me.
Yeah.
But they didn't see a reaction from me, so like I missed that opportunity because and I don't know what your upbringing was like or what your background is, but I just didn't really have guys that were interested in me throughout most of my childhood, and like in high school it was really awkward and like punk rock and stuff, and so I went through like all of that, just accepting that the guys I have crushes on don't like me back.
Yes.
And so once I accepted that, I was very free, and I was like
whatever, I'm myself.
Yeah, like
100%.
I'm friends with a lot of guys.
Unaffected.
I'm the guys girl,
Sure.
you know, where I can hang out with the guys, but no one's attracted
One
to
of the
me.
guys.
Right, exactly. And so then over a summer, I lost a bunch of weight and I got my braces off, and
You truly went to summer camp.
Yeah.
In the movie terminology.
But I didn't know.
Right.
I lost weight, but I wasn't like trying to do it to get a guy. I just like was overweight, and then I stopped eating French fries. Like that's what happened. And so then all of a sudden guys were like really nice to me. And I was just like, wow, guys senior year are way nicer than guys in their junior year. Like I just thought that, like, wow, guys really mature a lot in that year.
They grew up.
Yeah, but they're like extremely nice. Like they go out of their way. They'd like loan me their sweatshirts. They like do all this stuff that they didn't do before. And I was just like, wow, guys are fucking great.
Pretty girls got it so easy, man.
And then later I realized like they were hitting on me, or they were like trying to make a move, and like I wasn't reciprocating because I was just like, oh, that was cool. Yep. I was like, hey, I washed your sweatshirt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware. And then my mom and I went, I was the same age as you, on my 21st birthday, my mom and I went to Vegas, and it was just a girls trip, just me and my mom. Okay. And we were gambling and like having a good time. And when I would walk, I like to walk fast. I just like know where I'm going all the time, and I have a purpose, and I'm just like, I'm just walking. I walk too fast. I've gotten complaints.
I complain.
So my mom is trailing behind, and she is just cracking up. And I'm like, what the fuck is so funny? And like, why are you so slow? And she finally catches up to me, and she's like, oh my God, Nikki, like every guy was like turning their head, like craning their neck to look at you, and you just didn't even look. Like you didn't even see them. And at the time I was complaining about being single. Like, like it wasn't like I wasn't looking or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, she's just like, I was like, where? What guys? Where? Because I just was so unaware because I didn't know how to read those things. And I'm not saying that to brag about guys looking at me. But
well, she was bragging about the gift, so you're bragging about that.
Exactly. That's why I was calling it back to that. Yeah. But it really took me a while to read those signs, and now I'm very aware, almost in a way that I wish I wasn't. I wish that what I believed was pure intentions before were real. But
dude, we were just talking about this yesterday, where when you're of a certain age, you just don't know when people are into you.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
A certain level of experience too,
yes.
I think. Because like
I genuinely believe for him to take time and money to spend this to spend on her. Yeah. I think that he digs her if he knew her name and wasn't anonymous.
Okay, another bit of information we're missing though is he a rich guy? Because like what I might think is like really expensive, maybe to him was like a drop in the bucket.
True.
You know?
True.
Something to consider.
Something to think about.
But I don't know. I would say like if they are genuinely like putting thought into things they're doing for you, like specifics. Yeah. Like where if you mention, oh, my favorite ice cream flavor is raspberry nougat, and then they go buy you raspberry nougat the next time you see them, they thought about you because they like you.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
They're trying to get it. They want to get that ass.
But you know what I like is whoever is sponsoring us in this ad right now.
Oh, me too. I love them.
You know what I love? Break.
Let's go talk about them.
A good break.
Everybody listen to me. Look at me right now. Look at me.
Looking at you.
Okay. Now is not the time to overpay for razors. I think we can all agree. You go to the drugstore, you're paying a ridiculous amount of money for razors.
I agree.
I'm sick of it.
I'm sick of it.
That's the old world way of thinking.
Yes.
Now that we're in the new world, we got to start thinking about where we can save money. And razors is probably one of the easiest ways to save money thanks to Harry's. Join the 10 million people who have tried Harry's. I'm one of them. I love it.
Harry's knows sometimes it's better to stay inside at certain times and eras of your existence. That's why they ship directly to you, so you can experience the quality of Harry's shave in just a few days from the convenience of your own home. I think that's quite nice.
I love it. I'm one of the 10 million people who have tried Harry's. I tried Harry's years ago, and I've been using it ever since.
Before it was cool.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I was in there way before it was 10 million, I'll tell you that. Because I remember going to get drugstore razors or grocery store razors, and I'm always like, man, this is crazy. And Harry's, when I look at the price, I'm like, that's more like it.
You are a deals man.
I'm a deal. I've always been.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be as well.
So claim your special trial offer by going to harrys.com/STDTY.
Harry's is a return to the essential. You got quality, durable blades at a cheap price. You can get them for $2 a blade.
Yeah, they cut out the middleman. So they're manufacturing blades in their German blade factory that's been honing precision blades for a century. How fancy is that?
It's very fancy. You're getting high quality blades for a cheap discount price.
And Harry's is super convenient. Blade refills are delivered directly to your door on your schedule, with or without a subscription, and you can feel good about your purchase. 100% quality guarantee. If you don't love your shave, let them know and they'll give you a full refund.
Also, 1% of the proceeds are set aside for nonprofit organizations. Doesn't that feel good?
That's sweet. So you're like helping the public and while you're helping yourself.
Yeah.
Listeners of our show can redeem their Harry's trial set at harrys.com/STDTY. You'll get a weighted ergonomic handle for a firm grip, a 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel with aloe to keep your skin hydrated.
I use that.
And a travel blade cover to keep your razor dry and easy to grab on the go.
Go to harrys.com/STDTY to start shaving better today and cheaper. Thanks, Harry's.
Very important.
Once again, that is harrys.com/STDTY to start shaving better today.
And cheaper.
And cheaper. That matters the most
Importante.
to me. Yeah, muy.
Muy. And we're back. Did we answer her question or just...
No. God, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is too hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to move on.
You're just going to learn by experience of who likes you and who doesn't like you.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
And you might fall on your face. You might think a guy likes you, and then you go for it, and then he doesn't like you, and then that's how you learn too.
You know how hard that one was? That one's like, hey, Nikki and Steve, my parakeet had this weird cough every 4 minutes. What should I do? We're like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? I don't know the way the guy looks at you. I don't know the way he talks to you. I don't know anything. I don't know what he got you even. Thanks for not telling us that. All right?
Yeah, I wish I knew details.
Jesus.
Moving on.
Send your pet questions to podcast@Nikki.Limo. Thank you.
Hi, Nikki and Steve. Please keep me anonymous. Love you. Oh, yeah. This the title of this is Follow Up to an Answered Podcast Question. So we have answered their question. And here's a follow-up. Yay.
We're communicating.
Hi, Nikki and Steve. Please keep me anonymous. Love you guys as always. So I finally followed your advice. I messaged the guy who I liked in college who didn't know me by name, maybe by face, and lives across the state from me.
I remember
It's been some time now and still no response. At least I won't have this regret of not trying and having to think of what ifs. My question now is, how do I move forward? Since I knew this was the possible outcome, I already know I could be heartbroken, which I am, but I was already at terms with that. I've been on dating apps and in person casually looking since the time I've graduated till now, but no one really hits the same spots that I felt he could in terms of personality, at least from my sense of who he was. I know Nikki talked about how Steve checked off her list of being funny and how he treated others. I'm sure this is the same for Steve after meeting Nikki. This guy checks off so many boxes for me I didn't even know that I had, and it's been hard to find someone even close. How would you guys find someone else after having met someone who matches everything you want and think is perfect but can no longer have them? Okay.
Oh, really? Does he match everything? Because it sounds like he's not getting you back, girl.
Yeah, communication sounds like a pretty big issue.
That's big on my list.
Maybe that's not one of her boxes.
Oh, well, it should be.
Yeah.
She should add it.
I think I have an answer. Okay, so when I finally realized that Steve was the type of guy that checked all my boxes, because when we first met, and I don't know if you heard all this, but I thought he was a dick for like the first couple of years that I met him. He did not check my boxes. I was like, I'm so glad I'm not in a relationship with that guy.
Nice.
But then I didn't really know him. I only knew the surface level of him.
You do.
And then once I got to know him, I was like, holy shit. Like, he's actually so sweet and so thoughtful and so caring and funny and got this dark side. And then he started checking all my boxes. So I never thought, I was kind of the opposite, where I never thought that was possible because I saw him as being in a long-term relationship, pretty much married. They lived together. They got a dog. You know, very unavailable. But I just saw him as a template. So I was like, I want to find someone
with those qualities.
Exactly like that. Exactly with those qualities. So I think if anything, you said this guy checked off boxes that you didn't even know you had. This guy is now set a standard for you, which I think is great because I don't think you should just blindly, casually date like a lot of people do of like, I don't know, anyone, you know, and then you get in a toxic relationship and you're like, oh, love is a myth, you know? I think knowing those ahead of time is going to make it so much easier for you to know when you found the one. Because when that guy's sitting in front of you and you're like, wait, check. Holy shit. Yep. You checked all my boxes. Like, knowing what you want is half the battle of getting what you want.
Yep.
So the fact that you found that out from this guy, I think that was what was meant to be.
You know the guy's out there, but that wasn't the guy.
Yeah.
This guy's not that great. I'm sorry.
We don't like him.
We don't like him.
We're canceling him.
So, yeah, we're over it. Why aren't you?
We're watching a reality show and we're like, that's not the one for her.
Why won't she give up on him?
Get him off the show.
She's so great.
And then I'm like, I'm voting him off.
Yeah, me too.
And I go to my app.
And then I vote from another app on another phone.
Yeah, just so he gets 2 votes.
I vote on Nikki's phone and my phone.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope that helps because I feel like you're missing the little part that's like the little shift in perspective.
Yeah, you're thinking this is the movie Serendipity, and you're going after only that one guy, and that there's not just that one guy.
Yeah,
there's like 3 billion dudes out there, man. You can do it.
One of them's gonna check all the boxes.
You can do it,
and even more boxes that you didn't even know
Go to
about.
Mumbai, India. You'll meet a fuck ton of dudes very quickly. That's my advice.
That's true. There's a lot of dudes there.
Lots.
A lot of dudes. All right. How do you manage your finance? Is the title of this one. Hiya, Sticky. Firstly, thank you for all your hard work. I love the show. Love you too and wish you all the best in your life. Hope you have so many babies together because the world needs more Nickies and Steves.
Bless you, sweet child. Sweet child.
I don't want a lot of babies coming out of me though, but
I wouldn't mind.
But I would love them in the world. So I'm 22. My boyfriend and I are going to move in together this summer once I finish college. I'm wondering, how do you two manage your money? The boyfriend will be starting college, which is completely fine and okay with me, and I'll be in full-time work. I'm really curious how you save money, what you save for. Being a YouTuber, how do you save for retirement, if you do? Also, I love your vlogs, Nikki, but when you get your nails done or facials or the Apple Watch Fitness, those expenses freak me out. But I do believe self-care is important no matter how much it is. I don't want the relationship to be ruined or controlled by money. What would you say is a good ratio of spend and save? By the way, there's no joint account and no intention to get a joint account until we are married. Thank you so much. God bless, Alina.
What a great question.
That is such a great question.
It's very pertinent.
Very valid concerns too. Yeah. So I feel the same way as you when I would watch Sex and the City. I was 21 or 21 when I was watching Sex and the City, and I was like, damn, those girls are in their 30s, living in New York, in their own apartments, and they still can afford to buy all those clothes and then drink Cosmos and
they had floor to ceiling windows in their apartments. Holy shit!
Even the thought of getting one cocktail at a bar was like a huge expense to me. I was like, a $12 drink, like just for the drink? That's crazy. But that was always my goal. I was always like, but man, like that's a cool lifestyle, you know?
Yeah,
like,
to not sweat it would be sick.
And like they have their other problems, like Miranda has relationship problems with Steve and blah, 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 you know? But like their lifestyles are like, they are working, they are living, they're drinking, they're doing it.
I remember thinking about, what if I could go to the grocery store and not think about how much money I'm spending?
Oh, yeah.
And how nuts that would be.
Oh, I used to work at cocktail bars and restaurants, like very high class, like 5-star, 5-diamond luxury cocktail bars. And I was like, man, if I ever reach a point in my life when I can just waltz in here, drink whatever I want, pay the bill and not even worry about the number, that's crazy. Yeah. That's insane. Yep. That's an insane level of success. I think I mentioned before too, like I would walk through the store free people and I would just I would love everything and I would look at the price tag and I'm like, $60 for a shirt? That's insane. Yeah. And so I was like, man, if I could ever just like walk in the store and buy it and not think about it.
It'd be tight.
Yeah. And
but
so
the only reason why you can do things like that right now is because you do budget shit really, really well.
I do.
Really prudently.
And I know my limits. So I have what I aspire to always. Mm-hmm. And to me, the fact that I am doing those things that I can go into that bar and order a drink and not worry about it. Yeah. I very much am grateful for that. I'm so like, I'm very aware of that. I don't take that for granted. I'm always like, wow, I can't believe that I've reached that point in my life too. Like that's really cool. Now I have bigger goals, but I hear you. I think that it all started from being able to manage money well, and I think your head's in the right place. Absolutely.
Oh my God, you're asking the right questions. You have no idea.
Either you figure out the lifestyle you want, and either you need to find a way to save more money for that lifestyle, or find a way to increase your income so that you can, afford that lifestyle with like.
What kind of lifestyle do you want?
Expenses. Right. So for some people, they're like, I don't need a lot. I just want to, eat food and pay my bills.
I work to live.
Yeah.
So they're like, I just want a 9-to-5, and then I like to kick it on the weekends, and I like to go surfing or whatever.
Yeah. I'm always about, so I learned this thing way early that was pay yourself first, and it really hit me. It really like changed my life. When you get your paycheck, if you're an employee, the government already took a bunch of that out in taxes. Mm-hmm. They already took 15% or whatever it is for you. I think it's like 15 to 20%. And so they get paid first before you get paid, which I think is bullshit. But that's that aside. Yeah. That's why I like being a 1099, or I liked the shift into being a contractor, because even though you're supposedly pay more in taxes, you have the opportunity to pay yourself first. And if you're able to pay yourself first, that money can grow you money, and then you end up making more money even though you're getting taxed at a higher rate because you got to spend that money early. You got paid first. Yeah. So I always kept that mentality, no matter if I was working as an employee or as an independent contractor or as a business owner or whatever. When you receive money, put away 20% immediately. That's paying yourself first. That money should go into long-term savings and investments. That money should go into growing your wealth and making you more money, or saving up for a vacation or something luxurious, something that you want to do. Yeah. Self-care. I say in the beginning, 10% towards investments, 10% towards long-term saving, like things that you're, like a house or whatever you're saving for, something more immediate. And then that money, can make you money. And then you reach a point, it's like if you're doing it correctly and you're investing wisely, you have compounded interest, and then you're making passive income. So you're making money off of that money that you invested. And that's how you afford to be able to get your nails done, or the self-care stuff, the massages, or luxury items that maybe you didn't have the budget for before.
What kind of account is that money in to make you compound interest?
You could have several different accounts, and I think we should get into a whole episode.
Okay.
We have an episode on investments that we did way in the beginning of Shit They Don't Tell You with Jojo Sakawa, and I think we touched on a lot of things, but we didn't really get into the hows or like the different avenues. That
Is it like an Allied account, real quick?
I immediately put all of my money into I do have an Ally account. I think there might be other savings accounts that have higher interest rates now, but at the time that was the highest passive interest rate. But that should really only be a holding place until you find something that gets you a much higher interest rate. So if you're trying to keep up with inflation, you need at least like an 8 to 10% interest rate. But at least your money's being held in a place that you're getting some interest in the interim.
It's a smarter move than just chilling in your bank account.
And that 10%, if you're putting 10% in investments and 10% is going to stay in that account for just a long-term savings that you can pull from and like it's more liquid, at least you are getting an interest on that.
Exactly.
For comparison, my Ally account I think gives me 3% interest, and then if I were to do that at a mainstream bank like Bank of America, I think they only give like 0.25% interest. It's really bad, and the banks should be doing this for you because they're essentially, when you put your money in a bank, they're borrowing money from you. They're using it to loan to other people. So they're borrowing that from you. They should be paying you interest. Just like when you borrow from them, you are paying them interest. Unfortunately, it's a warped system where we pay way more interest than they pay us, but that's okay. I'm not going to get there.
That's why we buy Bitcoin.
You're in the beginning. You're moving in together. What I did was I did everything in envelopes. I was a waitress, and so I got a lot of money in cash. Like most of my income was tips, and I would set aside 20% for me, right? Pay yourself first. And then I would put them in envelopes to, like, if my half of the rent $600. So I know that I need to make at least, 600 divided by 4. Oh, you do the math. 120 or whatever it is. A week. I think it's 100. I don't know, 125. Wait, that's not.
I don't know.
I'm looking at you like you know.
Why are you looking at me? I don't give a fuck.
It's gonna bother me.
I'm not mathing. I'm not gonna math today. I'm trying to react.
Okay, divided by 4. Okay, 150. So I know I have to make 150 a week. So at the end of each week, I should have $150 in that envelope. That's for rent. And then at the end of the month, I would have $600 for rent. So that money, it's like it was never there. That's how I manage that money. It's like I don't touch that envelope because that is the rent envelope. And you can do this with accounts. And as you continue to learn to manage money that way, you'll be able to do it without having the envelope there. But in the beginning, it was really helpful for me to have that envelope just so I know my rent is covered. Let's say you split the utilities up. Your share is $50. I split that up by the week too. And I would, or you could do bi-monthly if you get paid every other week. You could go by 2 weeks, I should have $300 set aside for rent. And then I did everything that way. Utilities, how much groceries would cost. What is my share? What do I need to set aside for the paycheck? When the paycheck comes in, it's $1,200. I set aside this much for this much for this much for this. And then what's left over is your padding, like the padded income, whatever it's called.
Sure.
Like the leftover. It's
Beautiful.
what you can if something happened.
There you go.
Yeah.
That. Those are some great steps.
That was long-winded, but
yeah.
There's a lot. We could do a whole episode on money management, and I don't even think this touches the tip of the iceberg. But don't let those expenses of other people freak you out, because that comes from learning, like doing it for a while, managing money for a while. If you see people that are your age that are having all those big expenses, maybe they learned that a lot earlier than what you're learning at. Like if you were raised in a really wealthy family, like they maybe raised you to put everything in investments since day one, and maybe you have passive income already, I don't know. But learning how to work the system to get passive income, I think, is your best bet.
Yes.
All right. We have time for another one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Right person, wrong timing. Hey, Nikki and Steve. Love watching your guys' podcast together. Big Mood and JK News. Haha. I watch it all. Thank you for brightening my day with all the jokes and keeping it real. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for watching. So I have a question. What is your opinion on the whole concept of right person, wrong time? 2020 has been good to me so far. This month, however, has been mentally tough on me. I've had a crush on this guy for a while. We share a lot of the same common interests, the same ambitious mentality and family values. This month, I indirectly found out that him and this girl are slowly becoming a thing. I've seen this girl around plenty of times from just observation. How do I put this? She's not the brightest, and whenever he comes around, she just drops everything for him and literally just goes the extra mile to get his attention. She comes off as too desperate to me. I don't ever want to stoop to her level to get a man's attention. Even though I do talk to him once in a while, I keep myself busy with work, studying, and other creative projects to do. Yet he went for her. So hearing about that just kind of crushed me on the inside. On top of that, I recently had a fallout with one of my good friends. Let's just say this friend did something shady, confronted about that privately, and they kept making excuses as to why they did what they did. I'm not a resentful person, but I lost a lot of respect and, worst of all, trust after what they did. The interaction is not the same anymore. Dealing with heartbreak from both a crush and a friendship at the same time is a lot to deal with. I've cried it all out, and surprisingly, I've been handling myself well. I try my best to occupy myself with work, spending time with friends, and focusing on my fitness goals. I'm not super sad, but I'm not happy either. I haven't felt like myself these days, and I think I might be somewhat still in the grieving process in all this. I guess this was something I should have saw coming. I'm about to start nursing school in a month. Not that you can't be in a relationship while going through the program, but nursing school is not an easy road, and I've seen dark moments. I guess maybe right now trying to start something with this guy is just not the right time. I've talked to my friend about this desperate girl's antics, and they said just because she got what she wanted doesn't mean it'll last. That kind of makes me feel better, but dealing with it is tough. As I've gotten to know him as a person, he does have flaws, and of course I have flaws too. We both have a lot of growth to do. To put into perspective, I'm 23, he's going to turn 24. I'm not going to wait for him to do that because that's dumb. I have my own shit to do at the end of the day, but it'd be interesting to hear your guys' perspective on this. I love you guys so much. Heart.
Thank you. We love you. Man, this guy, I mean...
He's not ready.
He's not ready, right?
Yeah.
And also too, sometimes you have to tell people when you like them a little harder. Because so we were just talking about this. Some guys can be dense. Some girls can be dense.
Yeah.
They don't always necessarily get the message.
So that girl made it very obvious that she
couldn't have been more obvious.
Yeah.
Probably, right? So you thought it was embarrassing, but she's really laying it on thick because she's like, yo, I like you, fuckhead.
And maybe this guy didn't think anyone liked him.
Exactly.
So he was like, oh my God, this girl likes me? Wow.
So yeah,
this is awesome.
So maybe open your mind to the concept of when you want something, letting the thing that you want know that you want it.
Yeah, it's true.
Be it people or things.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
I learned that the hard way too.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And anytime I came on to a chick strong that I thought liked me, it usually worked out because I came on pretty strong.
Yeah.
Like you gotta let them know that you like them because that, and don't have regrets about this. I know you're hearing this, you're like, oh shit, I fucked up or whatever.
No.
It's just a learning thing. Like you'll find another guy. You're young. You're going into nursing school. Doctors are horny fuckers.
Oh yeah, they're hot.
They're hot. They're horny.
They're smart.
Washboard abs.
They're rich.
Yep. 2% body fat percentage. I mean, you know,
not the doctors I've seen.
Perfectly coiffed hair.
Yeah.
I mean, those doctors are fucking hot.
Right. Those young doctors. Yeah.
Oh my God, and they're wealthy. They got student loan debt up their ass.
Up their assholes.
You're gonna have fun.
Maybe you'll get a prostate doctor.
Oh yeah. You get a prostate doctor who knows all the dicks. He knows all the good dick.
Yeah.
So you'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're learning through this right now. Yeah.
Next time, let them know you like them.
Yeah.
.com, .org, .u.
I don't know. There's a song about that just reminded me of a song.
Which song?
Like if you like them, let them know. I don't know, but I don't know how to.
That's
I don't know.
not a song.
I know it's not. I can't think of the lyric. But it was
you lost the farm.
It was the
Limo.
essence of the song.
You lost the friggin' farm.
Fuck.
Yeah, nobody's with you on this one.
Icebreaker.
Iceman wins.
Icebreaker out.
Iceman wins. Flawless victory.
Finish her.
Finish the Iceman?
No, her. As you finishing me because you won.
True.
Unless you don't want to finish the job.
No, I'll finish it later.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Podcast question on self-care. I have an important question that I've been asking myself for a while now. I struggle with this and thought you both would be great people to ask. Almost every day I try to think of ways to give myself better self-care. Whether it's a long bath or going on an adventure by myself, I just feel what little I do for myself isn't enough or not working. Not only do I want to perform better self-care to help with depression, but I want to better myself as a person. My question is, what do both of you do for self-care? From a fan that loves your faces, Amber. Aw, hi Amber. Yeah. The question is, what do we do for self-care?
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been a hard one for me, and I think we addressed a little bit of it on an earlier question of the like facials and getting massages and stuff. To me, self-care was always seen as a luxury. item, like a luxury to do. That like, wow, you have the time to do self-care. That's crazy. So I feel like I developed these beliefs that I just needed to keep working because I didn't deserve self-care. So first of all, it's very new to me. I think with only in the past year have I been like, I should take some self-care time, you know?
Yeah, true.
And even then I thought I was being silly doing it. I was like, who am I that gets to just...
Before this past year, the only thing you really did was get your hair cut.
Yeah, and nails. I started getting my nails done a few years ago.
But you also used to do your own nails years ago.
I did. So. Well, that's because I didn't think I could afford or really, was the kind of person that was able to get my nails done.
Yeah, but then you started liking it.
Yeah.
And it is a self-care thing.
And it's a pamper thing, and it is a luxury thing, but it's something that I definitely feel like affects everything else in my life, where like these little self-care things that I took time out for enhanced all my work, like the things that I am spending the majority of my time doing. And the thing I do for self-care recently is I think that, going on hikes and walks and stuff really helps. Going on a walk, definitely. Meditating, for sure. Writing in my journal, my bullet journal, that's a lot of self-care. Little things that I'm taking care of my environment and my things now more. I never used to do that before. I'm a chronically messy person, but in the past few years, I've really started taking care of my environment around me. And just the act of taking care of something that I own, like taking care of my belongings, makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself.
We've kept the kitchen clean this year. Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
And we never used to make the bed before. We've been making the bed for like 5 years now.
It's been pretty sick.
That's pretty cool.
I have been doing the keto diet, which is I enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
And that's part of self-care for me. And I also have been going to the gym like a motherfucker, and I love it. I look forward to it now every day.
Yeah.
But it's getting that first momentum push that's the hard thing. But yeah, you have to do something for yourself. You have to.
Yeah, I have like really bad back pain, and so I have to get massages. But a lot of times I'll be like, I don't have time for a massage, or I don't have time for me, and it makes everything bad. Like, because I can't work as efficiently when my back hurts a lot. Like even right now, like
I know,
yeah, it's just all like this. But when I take time out to do the massages, I think recognizing the importance of the act, which I don't know if that was the question. I'm confused if I'm answering it correctly.
No, she's saying, what do we do for self-care?
Okay, cool. Yes.
So that's what we do.
I keep talking about like the reasoning behind it. I think part of me is still trying to convincing myself like, you need this.
Okay
it's okay. Like it's okay.
Yeah. I'm like, who are you trying to convince?
Right. Even my nutritionist, which I went to help with gut health.
Yes.
She was like, she didn't ask me at all about my diet or exercise. She asked me what my work life was like, because stress directly affected my physical health, which directly affected my mental health. Everything affected each other. And so when I realized that taking care of myself and de-stressing and that kind of stuff affected everything, is when I really prioritized it and made time for it.
That makes sense.
Okay, so that was just something that I had to learn. If other people are asking about that, maybe you should know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for your questions today.
We
hope you got something out of that. We're not experts, but
I'm an expert at scuba diving, and
cool.
Nobody's asked me any scuba diving questions, but that's fine. I guess maybe next week.
Your certification expired, so I don't trust you anymore.
My certification, the knowledge does not expire.
When was the last time you went scuba diving?
I last scuba dived approximately 8 years ago.
So you're not up to date on scuba code. So why would I ask you?
Well, no, the scuba code doesn't go away.
I'd rather ask somebody that's
the same rule. It's the same rules.
I'd rather ask someone that's an expert.
The knowledge does not expire.
Frankly, like,
and I will be
someone
taking,
with a certification that is intact.
I will be taking all scuba certification questions. Please send them to
Don't send them. Send them to an expert if you know it's good for you. If you even know it's good for you.
Please send them to podcast@nikki.limo.
But all other questions you can send to podcast@nikki.limo. Also check out our Patreon. We do bonus episodes every month, and you could check out. I don't know. I guess you could check out Steve's Instagram or something.
You also, if you have a question about diving at 50 meters or below, please
ask
send
an expert.
the podcast at
ask someone else.
At nikki.limo.
Somebody else. Anyone else. Thanks,
me.
guys. We love you. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.